welcome back to the Sacred Sisterhood podcast. Wow, this is such a beautiful and intense week right now. We just had the new moon in Cancer on Tuesday, just a couple days ago after this, or before this recording. And on new moon in Cancer was also the total solar eclipse. So we are now in eclipse season, and we are also in the shadow period of Mercury in retrograde. That Mercury will be going into retrograde on July 7th. So just in a few days, and it will continue to be in retrograde for the rest of the month of July. So July is looking to be a very, very intense, energetic month. I know I say that all the time, but I mean, this is our new reality. We have so much cosmic light pouring down. We have so much happening in the cosmos. We have massive, massive shifts happening within us and in our realities, that this is just our new reality. This is just the new way of living and the new way of being, and it's exciting and it's beautiful and it feels chaotic and it feels intense, but it's good. Everything feels like it's becoming more and more beautiful. I am having such different experiences with the natural world, like really becoming aware when I'm walking past trees and the bushes of feeling their energy and like feeling them combing through my own energy field to, really just heal me. And it's just this really beautiful, beautiful connection. And I'm sure many of you can resonate with what I'm saying right now. I also have been finding it very difficult to be out in direct sunlight for too long. After like a few minutes, I just start to feel almost sick and just there's just too much activations happening within me when I'm directly in the sunlight that I just chill in the shade all the time like a lizard on a rock, it's just too much for me. So you may also be really, really resonating with that. So today, on today's episode, I didn't really plan anything out. I just wanted to see what comes through, but I do know I'm going to be speaking to what's happening in the collective, what people are experiencing, what to expect, and really just how to maneuver through eclipse season in this really, really intense time. So something that I've really, really been noticing is that we are cleaning up the distortions in our quantum fabric, in our energetic bodies, in our energetic fields. Like really wherever there's been like disharmony and imbalances and incongruence and like kind of wrinkles in our energy field, that's being healed for us. In specific, like where there's been kind of like wrinkles in relationships and connections with our fellow humans, whether that be family, friends, old relationships, there just seems to be like things coming to a close. Here we go. There's a lot of energy moving through me. I'm starting to stumble on my words. But yeah, just like old friends reaching out, apologizing for past battles, or, family members just coming forward and really them shifting their energy with us. And this is all because of our own inner work. Us focusing so greatly, specifically on our own worth the last few months, our own worthiness wounds, and really, really diving super, super deep into that. That has been opening up and really shifting the way that we are perceiving people and the way that people are perceiving us, because it's no longer, right, everything's a mirror to what we're going on, or to what we're experiencing. So as we've been really diving into our worthiness work and really just upping our self-love game and our self-respect and really getting to this place of coming to a place of worship with ourselves, worshiping the goddess within, worshiping who we are and what we came here to do and the magical essence of who we are, that's now like rippling out, and people are perceiving us different. And that's also just how we are perceiving our relationships with people. So what I'm really noticing in my clients' lives, in my own lives, in my tribe's lives, is like the collapsing of old timelines, of like old wrinkles, just like a wrinkle in the energetic kind of cord between us and other people, like people are coming forward and apologizing, or this is one that a friend was saying to me that I'm starting to notice as well, is that people are acting totally different, and it's like this is how they've always acted. Like we have jumped dimensions. Yeah, I'm gonna go into it. I'm gonna go into that. Speaking of jumping dimensions, yesterday I checked my bank balance, and I do like to, bless my bank balance and just bless the abundance that's in my life and bless the abundance that's flowing into my life. And just, money has been a big theme for me to work around as, I was born into a family with deep-seated scarcity, and I've had poverty, like sacred contracts to poverty in past lives. And so money has been a really big theme of mine this past year, of really doing that root chakra work, of really coming home to truly recognizing that like infinite prosperity is our divine birthright, and really, really embodying that and believing it and watching that shift in my external reality with this newfound belief system that, of course, it wasn't a newfound belief system. I just had to unravel the familial conditioning as well as the past life conditioning around it that was skewing my perception of prosperity. So really just watching that unfold. So anyways, one of my sacred prosperity practices is blessing my bank account. And yesterday I looked at my bank account, checked it out, saw what was in there. And today I looked at my bank account, and I'm like looking at it and like, this is a totally different number than yesterday. And I'm like, where did this extra money come from? And I'm looking at my deposits, I'm looking at my withdrawals, and I'm just like, it's not, the deposit isn't here that is making this balance reflect that. How is this happening? And then I'm like, wow, I totally jumped dimensions. But of course, the money was always there. I just wasn't seeing it, right? And that's kind of what I'm noticing in different aspects of my life, that like there's things that are always there that act as if they've always been there, even though yesterday they weren't there, and people acting and talking as if like totally different, but acting as if that's how they always were. And so that's been a really, really interesting thing to view, is just to see like, shit, we're jumping dimensions, we're jumping timelines. Like this is real. We're in it. We are in new earth. We are multi-dimensional beings, and whatever we declare and create, it's coming to fruition. And we have the ability to hop into timelines just like that. So that has been a very, very interesting turn of events. I want to get back to that clearing up of distortion. So like wherever there's kind of like these plugs and distortions in our energetic field, the beautiful thing is that it's all clearing and healing for us. It's not like we really have to do much work. It's just like as soon as we bring awareness to it, it begins to heal. And so with these smoothing out of wrinkles and little hiccups in past relationships, what this is doing, it's also clearing any sort of like resentment energies that are hanging there, which is also opening us up to receiving greater abundance, because this is allowing us to receive love. Resentment is like the number one abundance blocker. It's a huge distortion in our field. So as these relationships are like these smoothing of the wrinkles, we're opening ourselves up to receiving more. We're opening ourselves up to receiving more love, which is so beautiful. And right now we are getting poured down from the cosmos with this heart opening activation energy. And it's been very interesting to me to observe, because with anybody that's listening to this podcast is aware of it as well, because I mean, you guys are listening to different teachers, you guys are informing yourself, you're doing your own inner work, you're very, very tuned in. But it's interesting so I mean, we kind of know what's going on, right? But for those that aren't aware of what's going on, and for those that are not on their own journey of like really self-evaluation and such, it's interesting to watch how all these cosmic upgrades are affecting them in a beautiful way. I'm watching huge shifts in my fiance right now, and it's so incredible to just stand back as the observer and just witness what is happening with him. So, so beautiful. As well as my dog. Witnessing the way that she is changing, the way her personality is changing, the way that her love is amplifying. I mean, her heart chakra is opening too to a different level. As I'm saying this, I have my eyes closed when I do my podcast, because that helps me channel and be more tuned in with the voice of my higher self and the White Light Society. And I'm just feeling my heart opening as I'm saying these words. It is beautiful. So, so beautiful. And it's very important that we really slow down and soak in these moments of just witnessing the beauty of humanity, witnessing the beautiful shifts that are happening, being able to just find beauty and tragedy, almost, witnessing humans come together, and all of it, really soaking it all in, really receiving it. Because if we're not fully receiving this is also blocking us from the ability to manifest more, the ability to bring in more blessings into our life, right? So we've been talking about that there's going to be a new wave of humans that are waking up this summer with all this cosmic light that's been coming down with the solar flares and the solar storms and such. I'm now beginning to see that in my own family and just other humans that I have interaction with, of being like, what did you just ask me? What did you just say? Wow. And just in a sense, just shocked, absolutely shocked with the words that are coming out of their mouth. And I'm like, wow, this person's awakening. This person's awakening, and they don't even know that they're awakening. You know what I mean? And it's so exciting. It is such a beautiful time. So right now, it's very important that we hold space for our loved ones, for our friends, for our family that are going through this transition, because it can be very confusing to them, right? And we've already been in it. We've already been doing our work. We've already been really making ourselves aware of all the changes that are happening. So it's important that we hold space for them from a very unattached, compassionate way. Don't allow yourself to get really sucked into their drama. Just hold space as they talk to you about things. Don't psychoanalyze. Just hold space and love them for where they're at. Know that everybody is on a different part of their journey, and their journey unfolds at a different speed, right? So just really keeping that in the forefront of your mind when you're having a conversation with your dad or your sister-in-law, your brother or your sister, just hold space. Another big theme that I'm really, really noticing right now is self-abandonment. Okay, so right now our higher self is coming down. She's integrating in. It's very, very easy for us to operate as our higher self. But for those that are not showing up to themselves every day to do their practices, to really connect, to do their meditation, they're spinning out more in the self-abandonment. And so this shows up as the people that will buy the course but don't actually show up and finish it. The people that will buy the book but leave it on their bookshelf unread. The people that will say, oh yes, I'm committing to this, but then end up flaking out and not carrying through, right? So I've definitely been noticing this in a lot of people, is that their self-abandonment mechanisms where there's a part of them that is asking for more and asking for, self evaluation, and just asking, they're craving more. There's a part of them that is. And so they'll put a foot out or reach a hand out, but then they pull their hand back as soon as they've done it, because they get scared. It's too far of a stretch out of the comfort zone right now. So I think it's very important, if what I just said just landed with you, it's very important that you become aware of this pattern, right? This can also show up as, for healers that are running their business, allowing the emotional chaos and turbulence to completely spin you out in a point that you're not showing up for your business at all, right? That's a form of self-abandonment, because you're not showing up to create that great, big, beautiful vision of yours that you are soul contracted to create, right? This is showing up as, the woman who's very mindful about what she eats and moving her body and so forth, but then she ends up binging late at night and watching Netflix, and then totally undoing all the positive shifts that she made in her day, right? So becoming very aware of where you are slipping into these unconscious patterns, and letting the ego and letting the inner child take the wheel, and abandoning what you said you were going to do or what you feel called to doing. Self-abandonment, right? So that is very, very strong in the collective right now. This is being amplified because of what's going on in the universe, right? So awareness, asking higher self to please step in and to really like do your practices to shift into your higher self state to be able to be the observer of such and be the observer of what's going on rather than playing into it. Because we don't need to be playing into that anymore. We're creating a new earth, a new reality, a new grid of reality. So we're being called up to embody our higher selves, embody that higher consciousness. And that requires you doing things that you've never done before. That requires you to start making decisions from your higher self place. Who is your higher self? What does she do? How does she show up? How does she make decisions? And start showing up as that. And I promise you, the more you connect with that, the more integrated and embodied you naturally will be with her. But it starts with making a decision of taking a stand for yourself and being like, you know what? This is my reality. This is my healing. I'm going to freaking follow through and do something about it because I don't want to be in the same place in 3 months that I am now. Right? Past life clearings. I think that most of the summer is going to be so greatly about past life clearings. I mean, this year has been so huge on karmic clearings. So for me, I've been getting flashes in my mind's eye of past lives, good and bad, like traumatic experience as well as really, really powerful experiences. And the beautiful thing is that the clearing is happening for us, right? Just like I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, it's not like we really have to do much, just keep doing your processes of meditating, connecting with your higher self, doing your burning rituals, whatever's your jam. I know you all have a whole toolbox of healing modalities and techniques to help you really shift your state and shift your energy. But for me, I'm noticing that when I get into those elevated states of consciousness, I start to see these visions of past lives, but I feel it leaving my body at the same time. For me, it's coming through my womb space. Yesterday was quite a painful day for me. I had major cramps in my womb space, and I just felt like this energy, this trauma moving through my womb space. And in that time, I was also seeing these flashes of traumatic past lives. And it's important that we are doing this clearing because your energy today, right now, in this dimension, in this timeline, is being affected by what happened in the past life. But at the same time, we are also able to call upon the higher aspects of our past lives and all of the wisdom and the spiritual gifts and knowledge and tools that we had in those past lives and utilize that, ask it to come online for you in this life as a past life activation, right? And I want you to remember how strong and powerful your words are. When you declare it, when you speak it, it's done. I mean, it may not come, you may not be able to see it immediately, but it's done. The universe and the guides are making that happen for you. So if you say, I would like to activate my past life gifts from other dimensions and other timelines, it's done. It's done. It's done. You're your own healer, you're your own witch, you know what to do, you know what to say. It's important to use your own words rather than getting words from other people, because your word is the most powerful thing. Past life clearings, huge right now. So, we could be feeling really energetically kind of sludgy and foggy right now. Your body's doing a lot. Your energy's doing a lot. You're doing a lot of work in your dream time space as well. I've been getting messages from women saying that I visited them in their dreams and was doing healing. I'm like, wow, my multidimensional self, she's busy. She's got things going on. So if I wake up after 8 hours of sleep and I feel like I need another couple hours, I'm going to give myself space to do that. If I'm feeling really fogged out and heavy, I'm going to allow myself to have a nap in the afternoon because I know that in my sleep time, I'm doing a lot of clearing. I'm doing a lot of work. I'm doing a lot. My body is doing a lot. So I'm going to give myself the grace to do so. We also are experiencing elevation and depletion. So like these really crazy expansive waves of like joy and excitement and gratitude and appreciation, and all this energy is pulsing through us. It's like this divine feminine nectar is just flowing through us, and we're birthing creations fluidly, and it's just, oh my God, yes, just this orgasmic energy. Right? You all know what I'm talking about, right? And it amplifies when we're out in nature, when we're connecting with the natural world. It's like, whew, am I high on mushrooms or something right now? Because it's just so, I'm not, but I'm high on frequency. It's just so blissful and euphoric. Euphoric is the right word. But then after we have that extremely expansive like wave of energy, then it's like we have a come down from that. It's kind of like, you know, approaching a holiday. You're getting so excited and you're like, yes, yes, yes. And then when you come, I know the right metaphor for this. I used to always pick up from it. When I would fly from like Calgary down to Mexico, or Calgary to Cuba, Calgary to Dominican, everyone's excitement is like just vibing. It's like a beehive in the plane. Everyone's so excited, right? Like, woo, been waiting for this for years or months or whatever, right? And then the flight home from the tropical paradise back to Calgary, back to Canada, everyone's down. They're heavy. I mean, they're exhausted. They had a week of sunshine and playing in the water and probably drinking and eating resort food. And they're like, oh man, now I have to go back to reality. So this is kind of what we're experiencing. It's like the come down after the great expansive wave and surge of energy. And so, I mean, you're going to have those days of like, woo, orgasmic energy. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. You know, I'm doing all the things, riding the waves. This is great. Life is great. Life is great. And then you're going to kind of plummet, and you're going to wake up the next day feeling WTF. I'm fogged out. I'm exhausted. I'm moody. I'm irritable. What's happening? So it's like this come down after the surge of energy. And it's very natural, like after expansion, to contract. That is just like a natural rhythm. When you think of the waves, right? She expands and then she contracts. So there's the ebbs and the flows, the push and the pull. That it's natural. It is natural for us to go inward after a great period of expansion. And because our bodies are adjusting to so much light, our bodies have never experienced this level of light before. Like literally the human race would have been obliterated off the face of the earth if the cosmos decided to do this 500 years ago, because the frequency of the collective consciousness wasn't high enough yet to handle it. And we would have just been boop, gone, like mist, like red mist, gone. So it's important. Yes, our bodies are adjusting to this extra level of light, which also means that our bodies are doing a lot of work. We're doing a lot of clearing, and it's important that we honor those days where we are feeling foggy and heavy and WTF to just really rest, do some yin yoga, chill out in the sun, on the sunbed, you know, let yourself have a little sleep in, you know, hydrate. Speaking of which, I need my water. Where is my Vasa, Lila? Sorry, give me 2 shakes. Then run across the room to get my glass of water. So it's important that we give ourselves the grace to do so. We are in a period of extreme highs and lows right now, right? And so we are cyclical beings. Like we are divine feminine. We are the goddess. It is natural for us to have surges of energies the first like 2-3 weeks of our cycle, and then begin to really slow down leading up to our period and while we bleed, right? It's the same in our day-to-day life, right? There's the ebbs and the flows. It's cyclical. We're transformational. So it's important to give yourself the grace and the space and ease in those times where you're feeling like, just know that you're doing major clearing. Your body's doing a lot of work. This is part of the process, and you're not doing anything wrong. You're not doing anything wrong. It's not like you're out of alignment. It's just important to have loving thoughts during this time. And when you have those waves of expansive energy, which I promise are right around the corner that's coming, to really utilize it, right? Something that I've been doing, I've been batching content. You know, like today I created like a week's worth of content, because honestly the last week I've been a little bit weird with my energy and haven't created that much. And I know that July is kind of a wonky month for me. I'm going to be taking about 2 weeks off of work because I'm going to be in Spain with my family to get married on the 20th. And then I have friends coming over to Austria with me after the week in Spain for about a week. So, I mean, I'm going to be completely offline for a good week to 10 days, and then just be when the week that my family or my friends are here, only going to be doing a little bit of work here and there, as I feel called to. So, but I'm not like freaking out about the fact that I'm taking that much time off work and social media rhythms or anything. I've gotten to the point in my own journey that I feel so safely and held by the masculine energy within, as well as the divine masculine consciousness in the cosmos, that I am safe, I am supported, I am held, I trust. Everything is coming to me in divine timing. I've been doing my work. I'm showing up. I've been taking aligned action. And honestly, this month is about receiving for me. It really, really is about receiving the expansive joy and love and the appreciation and gratitude for my friends and family that are flying across the world to be there, and just receiving all of it. So, and in business, it's these times that we do take time to ourselves and really receive and be in that beautiful, miraculous place of joy and appreciation. That's when things come through really, really, really easy, right? So also just like really letting go of the linear time structures. We've been really noticing how stretchy and slippy time is. Like, I barely even bother looking at the clock anymore. And when I do, it's like to check to see, usually there's an angel number sitting there that I'm like, thanks angels. I appreciate that. Because literally like hours could go by, but the time says it's only been half an hour, or vice versa, where like I got so much done. It like quantum creation, just all these ideas and inspiration pouring through me. And then I look at the time and it was only like a few hours, or vice versa, that it feels like it's only been a few minutes, but it's an hour, right? Like time is just, whoa, I just heard something crazy. I'm not going to play into it. There was an interference. Time is crazy right now. Anyways, that was an interference, and that's happening more often because there are forces that don't want us to be talking about these sorts of things because they don't want to see the evolution of consciousness. But we're in it. It's happening. We're ascending. We're on the cosmic ride. So jumping timelines and dimensions, yes, I've already really touched base on that. It's been crazy. It's been so crazy. So it's really like you create in your mind's eye. This is manifestation 101, right? I encourage you your first few minutes of your day to really like tap into the frequency that you desire to feel that day and really anchor that in, as well as like just set your intention of what you're going to create that day. Get really excited about the creations that you're going to birth. Get really excited about what's coming in today, the things that you're going to be receiving that day, the connections that you're going to be making. Just get excited. Really, really lock that in and just visualize in your mind's eye how your day is going to go. And then you get to create that. Then you get to enjoy your day and allow it to flow and unfold accordingly, right? So as well as like if there's an incongruence in your external reality, to not play into the drama of it, to not give too much of your energy and attention and power away to that, but rather just keep going inwards to adjust and shift your energy around such. You don't need to see it reflected in your external reality to feel it, right? I'm going to say that again. You do not need to see it in your external reality to feel it. The feeling comes from within. You can feel that money in your being before you see it reflected in your bank account. Right? You get to experience it before it actually happens and unfolds. Do not forget that, right? Fulfillment comes from within. It doesn't come from external things. It's very, very important that we're really, really tapped in and tuned into our inner energetics, because this is where we can quantum leap and timeline and dimension hop, right? Just like I said, my bank account is, I dimension hopped. Amazing. Thank you, universe. Thank you. And really letting go of the logistical, like, oh, but how, why, how, letting all that go. We don't need to figure out the how and the why. It just is, and appreciate the is, right? Just appreciate it. Really lock in that frequency within. Experience it as if it's happening now, and it will unfold. 100% trust that it will unfold in your external reality accordingly. Just trust. Let it go and trust. That's you letting go of the resistance. That's you becoming a vibrational match for such, because you've already experienced it, that it doesn't have any other option but to be yours, right? Because when you create it in your mind's eye, when you view it in your mind's eye, you've created it. It's now happening in another dimension. Now it's just a matter of you trusting and allowing it to slip into this reality, right? I want to drop in one final note, because this is already 30 minutes and I'm going to be hopping on a coaching call right away here. What's also been happening in the collective is soul family is coming together. This is your family from the stars, the family that you've shared past lives with, the family that you have karmic relations with. They are coming together, and it's very, very, very important in this time that we do come together, because the more of us that come together and start buzzing in each other's frequency, the shifts that you're making in yourself, like the healings and collapsing of timelines that are happening in your own dimension, in your own vortex, when you mix your vortex with another being that's expanding their consciousness, your shifts are making shifts in them, and it's vice versa. Their energy, all their work that they've been doing, all their shifts, ends up making shifts in your vortex. So like you heal together, you celebrate together, you receive together, you grow together, and it's very, very beautiful. So it's important that we do surround ourselves with those that are on the ascension ride, that are very aware and conscious, that are in it, that are doing the thing, right? Because we vibe together and we ascend so much faster, and we heal at a more easier, we just heal with more grace when we're healing within a group, right? So what I'm really noticing is like really, really old connections from like elementary school, you know, maybe you weren't even friends then. All of a sudden they're coming into your experience now, and you're like, whoa, I see you. I see you, I feel you, I know who you are, I know what you're up to, I know what you're doing, I know what you're being, and I dig it. We're on the same path. Let's, hop on a call, let's chit chat. And like this is becoming very, very normal for people. And I'm also noticing like people that I've made friends with over traveling times. It's very easy, I think, when you meet someone on a trip that, you add each other on Facebook and then you don't really stay in contact well. But there's like particular humans that I've met along my travels that like we've just kind of weave in and out of each other's inboxes here and there. And now it's like, whoa, we are in this. We're a new earth. We're in the fifth dimension, or transitioning to the fifth dimension. And like we are supporting each other in it. We're in it together. And it's like, wow, I know exactly why you came into my life a few years ago. And I know exactly why we're talking so much now, because we weren't fully ready to mingle so much with each other up until this point. So that's what's been happening in my life. And I'm also noticing it in my clients' lives, just like the appearance of soul family. Soul family is coming together. And it's good. It's good because we are all here to make a huge, huge difference on planet Earth and to help with the ascension of humanity. And we all have a key role to play in that. So it's important that we are vibing and buzzing with people that are walking the path, that are doing the thing, that, we don't need to do this alone. We're not in this alone. I mean, sure, we got our spiritual team and such, but we're also here to have fun, which means surrounding yourself with people that make you feel good, that make you think outside of the box, that, will call you out if they see your blind spot. It's important. It is so important to not be the friend that is a people pleaser, but rather the friend that is going to call you out on your shit or call you out on their shit. Right? Super important. So I am sending you all so much love and light, so much cosmic blessings. Thank you so much for listening to today's podcast. I'm gonna wrap it up here, tie it up with a pretty bow. If you enjoyed today's episode, please be sure to subscribe to the show, and it would mean the world to me if you left me a review to just help get this show out to more humans like you. And also, for those of you that are listening before July 7th, I'm doing an online goddess circle of a beautiful breathwork ceremony and guided meditation. Just sisters holding each other and loving each other and supporting each other. The exchange is only 33 euros. I am so excited about it. I will leave the registration link in the show notes. And I also wanted to let you know I am offering a total solar eclipse sale right now on 3 90-minute healing and coaching sessions for only 999 euros. This is a huge deal. So let me know if you want more info on that, and we can hop on a call to see if we are the right fit for each other and if I can serve you at this time. So once again, thank you so much for being here, and have an incredible rest of your week. Bye for now.